Morning. I just wanted to do a quick little balance sitting in a chair. So just to remind you that there's lots of these things that you can do anytime, anywhere to help pick up your energy. So every time we see something on the news, every time we've got a family or loved one, sort of saying something that doesn't help us or make us feel good, or it messes with our brains. There are things we can do to help to get your conscious brain back up and running. And they're the things I do all the time, but just a reminder. The emotional stress release points. They bring blood supply to the front of the brain. Running your central meridian, it increases your consciousness. It increases your ability to think clearly. The central meridian that the Chinese discovered 5, 6, 7,000 years ago runs from here to here. It's got 24 points on it. It runs in a figure 8 with the governing meridian that starts at your tailbone, goes up the spine, comes in up underneath the roof of the mouth, and then it reconnects down, and basically they run like a figure 8 energy in the body all the time. Central meridian, governing meridian. Central meridian, governing meridian. So when we're running our central meridian, we can actually be supporting moving blocks that are stopping that connection working. So another thing that you can do is having the hands on the base chakra and the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And doing that for a few breaths until you feel either a yawn or a sigh or a shift. Because once we get a shift, it's like there's a little blockage somewhere that gets moved. So that can be really powerful. Anti-clockwise over the heart. What that one is doing, that is a switching technique. In kinesiology terminology, there's this thing called switching. Switching is when our brain can't connect the logical, creative sides of the brain real easily. And don't forget, your brain does this deliberately. If you're emotional, the last thing you want to do is feel logical about something. Your brain wants to feel the pain so that you don't do it to yourselves again. If you're in a very logical state of mind, it doesn't help to be emotional at the same time. And many people live on one side of the brain or the other. But when we are the most open, when we are the most happy, when we are the most fulfilled, is when we've got a really nice connection, because then we can see what's going on and we can feel the truth about what's going on. So having that connection, and that's part of what these emotional stress release points do as well. Because sometimes when you hold your fingers to your ESR points, you might actually feel one side start to pulse first. Now, you don't want to hold it really hard. It's very light. It's a light touch. And what you'll start to feel is one side will start to pulse. Let me see what's going on. Okay, so for me, my left side, so that's the logical side, actually started pulsing before the right side, which is the gestalt or creative or emotional side of the brain. So what you want to do then, if you can actually feel it, is hold them together until you start to feel that pulse be even from left to right sides of the brain. Really powerful. Another thing you can do is hand at the rear of the brain, that's where our survival patterns are, hand at the front of the brain. And basically hold them until you feel a warmth or an energy, or once again you sigh or yawn or start to move. Another thing that you can do is hold your thumb and pointers together and just hold these. Same again, this is the lung meridian, so it's about the breath. So sometimes you do it until you yawn or until you get that sigh. And it's just another energy shift. So the lung energy works hand in hand. It feeds into large intestine, lung and large intestine energy, and you've probably heard of that acupuncture point in there before. That's large intestine 4. Large intestine 4 is one of those spots you hold when someone's got a headache. I had a paramedic in the clinic the other day, and I was doing some work on him, and he said, "Oh, I've always used that with people with headaches and migraines. And I said, what do you do? He said, I'm a paramedic. So they even get taught some of these acupuncture points in those sort of in those sort of industries, which is really cool. So tongue on the roof of the mouth, and hands over the base chakra. That gets the celestial circuit going, ESRs, central meridians. Another one is your lung meridian, because lung's about grief, guilt, regret, and there's so much of that on the planet at the moment. Now, this all getting back to the new normal is all very well for people, but so many people have lost their lives, they've lost their loved ones, they've lost relationships, they've lost jobs, they've lost the things that matter to them most because of government rules and regulations and all sorts of things going on. So, because there's been a lot of misgovernmenting going on in the last year as well. So the lung meridian, it starts here and it comes down the arm, and once again it goes to the thumb. So running that meridian, and obviously when I'm doing kinesiology, I do meridians above the body, because to me it just feels a bit creepy doing it on the body of the person. But running that along the lung energy, and that's about helping just move grief, guilt, regrets. You know, is there anything that you're grieving at the moment? Is there anything you regret at the moment? Is there anything you feel guilty about at the moment? Just release. Releasing grief, guilt, regrets. And obviously the chakras are something that we can do. Each one, you know, the main 7 chakras. We've got our crown, and once again you can just, I know some Reiki masters, they will just have a little clock that dings after 2, 3, 4 minutes, you know, so you can just hold a chakra for a couple of minutes, or for 10, 20, 30 seconds once again, until you get a sign, a yawn or an energy shift or a warmth, or once again it's got me yawning, oh dear, sorry about that. Hand on the forehead. So this one's the crown chakra. When it's broken or cracked, or we can bring in all other people's crap, whereas it's the one that connects to father energy, father, son, father. So it's connected to our intuition, our angels, our that next realm. Then there's the brow chakra, so the third eye. Third eye is all about our intuition and our knowing. It's about looking beyond what is being said. It's looking beyond the pictures we're being told. It's looking beyond the relationships in our life. It's looking beyond, so that we can be open to what's happening, what's going on, what we want, what we believe. There's the throat chakra, which is about speaking your truth, speaking your mind, being safe. So when people feel constricted to say what they want to say, you can feel it. It starts to get thicker. It starts to get congested. The throat can literally start to close over. Heart is about self-love, self-worth, self-belief, putting ourselves out there into the world, being able to love, being able to open our hearts and minds. Solar plexus chakra, it's about personal power. It's about personal will. It's about sovereignty. So when we feel submissive and undermined as a human being, our solar plexus chakra is just like, I don't think so. Sacral chakra is the seat of our sexuality. It's what makes us men and women. It's about our humanity. It's about our love. It's about our sensuality and sexuality. And then our base chakra, the one at the bottom, it's to do with feeling grounded, feeling safe, feeling happy, feeling secure. And any of those chakras can impact on any other chakras. There can be bullying going on between chakras. So just say that someone constantly shuts down your throat chakra. Well, if it's too small, energetically something else might be overworking. So your solar plexus chakra might be feeling totally submissive, or your base chakra might be going, it is not safe, I am not happy, I don't feel secure. So any of these chakras can impact on other chakras as well. There are probably some core things that you can do just sitting. So I sort of, another one's just little figure 8 energies. So figure 8 energies can be used anywhere in the body just to sort of help something to heal, help something to move energy. And there's lots of practitioners I know who have used that when someone's had an injury, and they sort of will do figure 8 energy over it to sort of help it heal faster. So they're just a few ideas. Take care. Love you. Bye.